Episode 380, Anticipation or Love. While Alex and Debbie enjoyed this private revelation, the news of Alex's impending fight with Tyson exploded from the information channels of the Clifton family. Word spread beyond even the US to the martial arts communities of the entire world. Alex will fight a world-class martial arts master in a decisive battle in 3 days. Rumors and stories and speculation flew in every direction. As far as most people knew, Alex was only a humble security guard. Some whispered that he was actually a famous martial arts master, but had only been keeping a low profile because he enjoyed his privacy. But even those who believed him to have some skill did not believe he would be much of a match for someone as powerful as Tyson, the leader of the Blood Brothers. The world waited in breathless anticipation as 3 days passed. Tourists continued to flock to the Hudson River, hiking through the paths to see the waterfalls scattered along its length, taking part in river cruises, or even just staying in nearby hotels to eat at restaurants in the area. Even though it was the off-season, the entire place was bustling with activity. Many of the visitors knew of the upcoming match, and it only added to the Hudson River's attractions for them. In one of the clusters of tourist attractions nearby, a beautiful girl walked down the road with a grim expression. She was beautifully dressed and graceful, as noble as a little princess. It was Kelly Phillips, walking arm in arm with her friend Sharon. Kelly hadn't seen Alex since the incident with his Ferrari in Washington, D.C. "Come on," Sharon whined. "Quit moping around." Kelly blushed. She was generally a bit reserved with her thoughts and didn't like it when people could guess what she was feeling. Sharon rolled her eyes. "I've already guessed why we're here. You came all this way to watch the martial arts competition. But Alex hasn't shown up this whole month. I don't think the new announcement about the match is even true. We should go back. Stop listening to rumors." "Alex always keeps his word," Kelly said stubbornly. Despite her melancholy, she smiled a little as she said this. "If he really comes, he'll fight. I want to see it." "Do you think he'll win?" Sharon teased her. This made Kelly frown again. She had a lot of romantic ideas for how she might accidentally bump into Alex when he turned up. But she hadn't imagined what would happen if he got injured in the fight. The thought made her heart pound with fear. "Alex has some skills, but I don't know what to expect from him," Sharon thought out loud. "Maybe he just wants to meet some of these guys." They spotted a nearby restaurant and decided to stop for a meal. The place was very crowded. People had come from all over to explore the Hudson River and its many attractions. The restaurant was noisy with the sound of many different U.S. accents competing with one another to be heard. Sharon and Kelly waited for a long time, but finally, the staff admitted that there would not be a free table for some time. However, they were welcome to share a larger table if they didn't mind sitting with strangers. Sharon was a little reluctant, but Kelly shrugged and said it was fine. Next to them, others were discussing the match. "But who do you think will win?" a domineering lady asked. She wore furs and bright lipstick and had the natural air of someone accustomed to being listened to and obeyed. "It has to be Alex. Why not?" the girl next to her said firmly. She seemed as if she might be related to the domineering lady, or at least a relation through marriage. Sharon thought with amusement that she might be the daughter-in-law of the older woman. But Kelly looked at her with some surprise. She realized suddenly that she knew the girl. The domineering woman turned to them and demanded, "And you? Who do you think will win?" Kelly had not planned on starting a conversation with whoever they ended up sharing their table with, but the domineering woman was difficult to ignore. "Alex, I think." Sharon chimed in to agree. The lady scoffed. "Don't you children know anything about martial arts? About the man Alex has challenged? He can't possibly win." "Why do you say that?" the young woman with her cried. "Who says Alex can't win?" She looked to Kelly and Sharon for support, but when she looked Kelly full in the face, she gasped in surprise. "Kelly? Is that you?" Kelly raised her eyebrows. "Rose?" In one voice, they asked each other, "What are you doing here?" "I'm here to support Alex, of course," Rose said a little defensively. She was very proud to know Alex. "Groupies," the domineering lady sighed. "So, you're all here to support the same man. Well, it'll end in tears." Her words attracted the attention of another girl. She was plainly dressed but carried herself with a noble air. She frowned and said, "Please, watch what you say. I have placed a pretty large bet on Alex." Her words caused more of the diners to glance at her in surprise. Kelly looked her up and down. She was very beautiful, though she looked a little melancholy. Kelly thought they must look very similar. The girl was Lindsay Marvel. She had traveled out to support Alex as soon as she heard the news about the match back in D.C. The domineering lady scoffed again. "How many rich young ladies have traveled out this way just to support that boy?" But she decided not to make any further issue of it. Rose gave Kelly a knowing look. "Kelly, I told you Alex likes me. Didn't you believe me?" she said. "I never said I didn't believe you," Kelly said slowly. "I just came because I want to support him. I didn't know what had happened to him, and I don't know anything about your relationship with him." "You liar!" Rose crowed. "It's so obvious you're still in love with him." She spoke loudly and a bit obnoxiously, but it was only to cover how worried she suddenly was. It hadn't occurred to her that there would be other girls here to support Alex too. It seemed like they were at a table full of young women in love with Alex. Rose was not amused. Kelly blushed. "Please lower your voice. I'm just his friend, that's all." Rose adjusted her expression to look sweet and inviting. "Well, of course. Alex is so wonderful. Lots of people like him, right?" She turned and flashed a big smile at Lindsay. "Tell me how you met him. Let's all share our stories. It'll be so fun." She could tell her friendly approach had Kelly flustered. The smile Lindsay gave her was a little more reserved. Lindsay considered herself to be a bit more mature and wasn't as interested in playing silly games. But Rose chatted quickly and brightly, and eventually she got the other two girls to loosen up a little. At a nearby table, another girl with a plainer face and a more ordinary figure watched them with a menacing look on her face. "Groupies," she muttered, echoing the domineering lady from before. "Why are you acting as if you all know him so well, huh?"